Hey everyone, my name is Kelly and this video is sponsored by Alliance for Positive Health and is made specific for our Food4Life programs. So Food4Life is a program where we help people cook specific to their health needs while also helping with nutrition behavior and helping people shop for food on a budget. So if you're interested in that, just click the link below and that'll direct you right to our webpage. So yeah, today we're going to be making bacon shrimp with spaghetti squash. So for ingredients, we're going to start with a pound to a pound and a quarter of shrimp. I just got frozen shrimp, that's what it looks like. 8 slices of bacon, 1.5 teaspoons of paprika, salt and pepper, 2 tablespoons of butter, 3 cloves of garlic. I didn't have cloves, so I'm using mint, so use 3 teaspoons of garlic. That'll work fine. A tablespoon of olive oil. I also could not find shallots in the store, so I got some green onions. This calls for 1 shallot, so just one of these little guys will work. A half a cup of fresh basil leaves. I usually have fresh basil plants, but not right now, so you can always just use a bottle of basil if that works. Half a cup of that. 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, fresh or already in the bottle, which is easier. And then 2 tablespoons of freshly grated Parmesan. I just grabbed shredded Parmesan in a container. And then the last thing is a 2 to 3 pound spaghetti squash. If you have one smaller, that's okay too. Just cut down on your shrimp by like a half a pound and you'll be fine. So yeah, the first thing that we're gonna do is prepare the shrimp. I am going to poach the shrimp today since it's frozen. I'll poach it and I'll show you how to poach it, and then we'll fry it with the spaghetti squash afterwards, okay? Hey guys, so for poaching shrimp, the first thing I did was I got a pot of water about that size and I filled it up about 3/4, and then I added in about a tablespoon of salt, and then I put in half a lemon. I squeezed the juice and then I dropped it in. So to poach, what you want to do is boil the water, and once it's boiling, take it off the heat if you have an electric stove. If you have a gas stove, you can just turn it right off and it'll be fine. And then after that, it'll stop boiling, and you're just going to take the lid off and you are going to put your shrimp right in. Be careful not to burn yourself. And then you're just going to cover it and you're going to let it sit for about 5 to 6 minutes. You're going to want the shrimp to turn, the shrimp right now when it's raw, it's about like a gray color, and you'll see that if you have frozen shrimp, but it's going to turn like an opaque kind of pink too with the veins in there. So let that cook for about 5 to 6 minutes, and then it'll be done, okay? Hey everyone, so while the shrimp is poaching, I'm going to quick prep the spaghetti squash, which is really easy. I already washed this one, so all we have to do is cut it down the middle and take out some of the seeds and then flip it over and cook, and I'll show you what that looks like. And right after you do that, you're going to want to prep your bacon and put it on a cookie sheet or baking pan like this, and just line it up next to each other because we're going to cook those right at the same time. All right? Alright everyone, so here's a shot of the spaghetti squash cut open. It's going to look like this. You're going to want a bigger knife, depending on the size, but this always helps. They're tough to cut open sometimes, so just be careful while you're doing it. I'm just going to take a knife and I'm going to cut around this area here to get the seeds out. And do the same thing for the other one. You can also use a spoon. I just like using a knife. I just find it to be easier. So whatever you think. Oh, that is my timer for the shrimp. So let me put you on pause real quick. All right, continuing on. So then I'll just take a fork or a spoon, whatever you have, and just get the seeds right out of there. Like this. It'll look like that. Do the same thing to the other one. Perfect. And then you're gonna put it on a cookie sheet. If you have a brush to put oil on it, I would do that. I'm just gonna use cooking spray, put a little olive oil on top and flip it right over on my cookie sheet, so it's gonna look like this. Like this, and lay it down just like that. And then you're gonna pop it in the oven for 35 to 40 minutes, okay? Awesome. All right, just the next step I'm gonna show you, I'm just gonna put some bacon right on a cookie sheet here and just lay it right next to each other and cook it. I don't know if anyone's ever cooked bacon in the oven before, but it's one of my favorite ways to do it if I have the time to prep it this way. So you'll just lay it just like this right next to each other and throw it in the oven, and that'll cook for about, I would say 15 to 20 minutes at 375, same as the squash. All right, so for my green onions, I just cut the roots off of them, and then I just cut the white section, and I went up the stem a little bit more and cut that off, but I'm not gonna put that in my spaghetti squash when I saute it, but I can always use it as a garnish. So that's something to know. All right, so while the bacon and the spaghetti squash is in the oven, I'm just gonna prep the rest of the ingredients. So that's the 3 cups of spinach, just have that ready to go in the saute pan. And then the rest of the spices. So the basil, the garlic, I put the green onions in here, I put the paprika in here, and I also, what is the one thing? And the basil leaves. I put them all in here so they can just be tossed into the pan as well, and they're ready to go. And then the other thing was just a tablespoon of lemon juice. That's also set to go. The last thing is the shrimp. This is what our shrimp looks like when it's done. This shrimp has the tails on it, and I don't want that in my spaghetti squash dish, so I'm just gonna take them right off. So, you know, it's really simple. You just gotta take the shrimp out and pop the tail off, and you're good. And I would just do that to all of them if you don't want it in there. And yeah, set it right aside. Hey everyone, so the spaghetti squash is done, and it's been cooling for about 10 minutes. It's still a little warm. So what you're gonna do to get this ready to be sauteed, all you have to do is, let's put a bowl over it, and you're just gonna take a fork, and you're just gonna go like that, and it's gonna kind of look like spaghetti, if you see it up close, and just put it right in the bowl. And then once this is all done, we are going to saute our spinach, our herbs and spices, and then our shrimp, and then we'll throw the spaghetti squash in with it last since it's already cooked. All right, stay tuned. Hey everyone, so we're on the last step of this dish. What I did first was I put some olive oil and butter, 2 tablespoons of butter and a tablespoon of olive oil in the pan. I let it get hot, and then I put my spinach in. The next thing I'm going to do is just throw the shrimp right on top. And then after that, I'm going to put our herbs in. So our basil, our green onions, paprika, lemon juice, and salt and pepper. So I'll put that right on top. Oh, and the garlic. Can't forget the garlic. Maybe get a spatula and get the rest of that out. And make sure you have all the lemon juice in there. And then just give it a toss. You want the spinach to cook down. You want the shrimp to cook a little bit more. Not too much though. Make sure the spinach is lastly, we're gonna throw our spaghetti squash, and our bacon in. So I put the bacon crumbles right on top, and I'm just gonna toss it in. And mix that all together. And just keep doing that until it's all mixed. You see all the herbs mixed in with the squash, and it will be done. Hey everyone, so we're all finished up over here. This recipe will make about 4 servings of the spaghetti squash with shrimp and bacon. Haven't eat that yet. This is what the serving size will look like, just about that. So if you have any questions, again, just feel free to click the link below and that'll direct you to our page and give us a call. All right, see ya. Have a great day.